A single piece of legislation just changed the financial landscape for millions of Americans. If you pay taxes, have student loans, or care about healthcare, this affects you directly. Let's break down exactly what you need to know. Welcome to NextGen Money Trends, where we make complex financial concepts accessible and actionable for the next generation of wealth builders. In July 2025, President Trump signed H.R. 1, officially called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, into law. This isn't just another budget bill, it's being called a sweeping legislative triumph that combines the largest tax cuts with major changes to government spending and healthcare. But what does this actually mean for you and your money? Today, we're going to break down the key provisions that will directly impact your wallet, your taxes, and your financial planning. No political spin, just the facts you need to make informed decisions about your financial future. Number 1, the tax cut component. What's actually changing? Let's start with the biggest piece, tax cuts. The bill includes the largest tax cuts in recent history. But what does that actually mean for different income levels? For most working Americans, this means changes to tax brackets, potentially lower rates, and modifications to deductions. The exact impact depends on your income level, filing status, and current deduction strategy. Here's what you need to do right now. Look at your most recent tax return and identify which bracket you fall into. This will help you estimate how these changes might affect your take-home pay and annual tax burden. The key thing to remember is that tax cuts don't automatically mean more money in your pocket if you're not adjusting your financial planning accordingly. We'll talk about strategy later. Number 2, healthcare and Medicaid changes. One of the most controversial aspects involves healthcare funding. The bill prohibits Medicaid from being used for funding Planned Parenthood and similar organizations for 1 year, and there are broader implications for healthcare access. If you or family members rely on Medicaid, it's crucial to understand how these changes might affect your coverage options. The bill doesn't eliminate Medicaid, but it does redirect how some funding is allocated. For your financial planning, if you're currently relying on certain healthcare services, now is the time to research alternative options and potentially adjust your healthcare budget for 2026. Number 3, college and education, the endowment tax. Here's something that caught many people off guard. The bill increases taxes on investment income from college endowments, and colleges with more than 3,000 students and an endowment per student ratio of $500,000 would be taxed starting at 1.4%, with the tax rate increasing to 8% for the wealthiest colleges. Why should you care? Because this could affect tuition costs and financial aid availability at major universities. If you're planning for college, either for yourself or your kids, this could impact your education savings strategy. The revenue from this tax is estimated to raise $761 million over 10 years, money that's being redirected to other priorities in the budget. Number 4, the deficit impact, long-term financial implications. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, what this costs. Different sources have varying estimates, but some analyses suggest the bill could raise the deficit by $3 trillion over the long term. Why does this matter to you personally? Because deficit spending can influence inflation, interest rates, and the overall economic environment you'll be building wealth in. However, the administration argues that the bill dramatically improves the fiscal trajectory of the United States through economic growth effects. The reality is that major budget changes like this create both opportunities and risks for personal financial planning. Number 5, implementation timeline, when changes take effect. Not everything happens at once. The bill was signed on July 4, 2025, but different provisions have different effective dates. Some tax changes might affect your 2025 tax filing, while others won't kick in until 2026. Healthcare changes have various timelines, and some provisions include phase-in periods. For your planning, don't assume everything changes immediately. Check the specific effective dates for provisions that affect you directly. Number 6. What this means for your personal financial strategy. Here's the bottom line for your money. Any major legislative change like this creates both opportunities and challenges. If you're getting tax cuts, don't just spend the extra money. Consider increasing your retirement contributions, building your emergency fund, or paying down high-interest debt. If you're facing healthcare coverage changes, review your options now rather than waiting until you need care. For college planning, consider how endowment taxes might affect your target schools and adjust your education savings accordingly. The key is to be proactive rather than reactive. Major policy changes reward those who plan ahead. Key takeaway: the One Big Beautiful Bill is now a once-in-a-generation piece of legislation that will shape the financial landscape for years to come. Whether you agree with it politically or not, understanding its provisions is crucial for smart financial planning. The most important thing you can do right now is assess how these changes specifically impact your situation and adjust your financial strategy accordingly. Knowledge plus action equals financial success. If this breakdown helped you understand how major legislation affects your personal finances, hit that like button. And if you want more content that makes complex financial concepts accessible, subscribe and ring the notification bell. What aspect of the One Big Beautiful Bill affects you most? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, keep building that next-gen wealth.